So this is going to be a bit of a longer video. This is quite a dangerous and challenging site. So I really wanted to capture the strategies involved, the emotion and the feeling of flying here. This kind of flying is for experienced pilots. The site's minimum rating for flying here is a PG4. So if you're not interested in the strategies, just skip forward to the last third where you're going to get all the spectacular views. But if you're interested in the detail and interested in more about the strategies of flying here, yeah, watch the thing all the way through. G'day, thanks for watching Matt Black Cliffs, and it's time to terrify myself. So this is that dodgy site where if you take off, there's no option for bottom landing. There's also some pretty dangerous spur lines here where you can get caught in rotor. A few people have come unstuck at this site, so got to be really careful, got to be on the ball, not make any mistakes. Got a bit of a tip collapse there, so pulling on the Stabilito line, trying to get the wing to reinflate. Feel good. Good. So just very carefully and gingerly working my way towards the edge of the cliff, just feeling what the air's doing. Doesn't quite feel like it's good. It's a bit light, a bit cross. Well, now it feels a little bit stronger, so just going to kite up, approach the side of the cliff again, feel what the air's doing. What I'm trying to feel for is that I'm going to get lifted up. I want to really feel that vertical pressure, so I know when I go over the edge I'm going to go up. If I'm not successful in doing that, I'm going down into those rocks and into that surf down below, which is no bloody good. It's just sucked me over the edge. Really quite a freaky feeling standing here, feeling the wind sometimes trying to be pulled over the edge, knowing that if I stuff this up, the ending's not going to be good. Yeah, it makes me very nervous. This is a freaking scary sight. Freaking scary. There's lifty there. So it's gusting on and off. Stronger when it gusts on, lighter when it gusts off. I think it's viable. I can feel it pulling me up, but not quite as much as I'd like. I've also got to be careful of a gust coming in and just picking me up off my feet and then sending me flying over the edge, and then it not being strong enough for me to stay up. Yeah, it's real balancing on the edge. Let's go over this way, a bit away from these rocks. Yeah, not quite. Feels lifty now, pretty square. It's not picking me up though. I just want to feel that lift where it's going to pick me up. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of pressure. Definitely a lot more square. Feeling pretty consistent. I don't want to die. This is my second time at this site, and the first time up my decision making was reasonably good, but in hindsight I probably took a few risks that I shouldn't have. I'm going to try and do this one with no risk. Yeah, that's real lifty. There. Wind change. Just change direction. Yeah. It's always good just to kite the wing and feel what it's doing. That killed a lot of the liftiness. Been here for a while now, just yep. It's trying to pick me up at the moment. But that's just a gust. Need to make sure I stay high enough above this cliff that I can land on it at all times. I can't let myself sink below it, no matter what I do. Now that I'm up, I have to be even more cautious than I was before the takeoff. I need to try and get a bit of height here. Can't go beyond this little piece of ridge here until I've got enough height I can get over that spur in front of me. This spur creates rotor turbulence behind it, especially when the wind's a little bit cross, which it is at the moment. Not getting a lot of height though. The wind is going up and down in strength and it's changing direction, so the lift I'm getting is really inconsistent. So the lift's good, suddenly it's bad, suddenly it's good, and I'm just not getting the height that I need. Pretty marginal. Getting a bit low here, so there's a bit of a bowl in the front of this spur, you can see, and I'm just going to try and catch that, get a bit of lift so I can get around and land the top of the cliff behind me. Shit, wind's too low and now I'm too low. I'm going to be pushing to get back on top of that hill. If I don't get any lift, I might be able to slip into that valley and try and land there. Dodgy, but certainly better than landing on the rocks. Little bit of lift here, just getting pushed up enough. Oh, beautiful. Over the ridge. Now the hard part, I've got to try and land on that downward slope. The glider's going to want to keep flying, so I've got to really manoeuvre and bring it down. Well, I got up, but yeah, it's light. I'm not going to get high, and I don't want to die. You right, mate? Kimmy's rocked up at the launch site and the wind's picked up. It's a bit cross. He's got a lot of experience with flying this sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to follow his advice. He thinks these conditions are pretty good. So he's going to show me how it's done.
The direction's just okay. Haven't done one of those for a while.
Nothing like a good drag. Keep you happy. Managed to get up. So the wind's quite easterly, which means this is a crosswind for this site. It means the lift is in different locations, and of course lots of danger with rotor turbulence. Alright, I'll come and join you. That definitely wants to fly here. Kim's directed me to a slightly different launch spot. It's much better here when the wind's cross. G'day! So the goal here is to get onto that large cliff in the distance, and to do that I've got a number of obstacles I've got to get over. So the wind isn't coming in straight onto these faces, it's actually blowing from behind me, from a more easterly direction. So the second spur up creates a bowl, which will create a huge amount of lift like an elevator, and that's where I've got to get some decent lift from here. But the problem I've got is that spur in front of me, it'll create lift from the front of it, but as soon as I go behind it, it's going to be rotor turbulence. And I do not want to be flying in that. That causes serious accidents. I can go over the rotor turbulence, so I need to gain enough height that I'll be able to pass over the top of it. But bearing in mind that once I'm over it, I'll be gliding, so I'll be descending and heading towards that next bowl. And I can't lose enough height that I'll end up drifting down into that rotor turbulence before I get into that lift. And just to make it even harder, that next bowl is significantly higher than the spur line in front of me. So I do need a lot of height to be able to make it over there. Just trying to work the lift in front of the spur line. It does produce a nice amount of lift from that little bowl in front of it. It's no good. It's like I'm going down. The wind must be dying. I won't stuff around out here anymore, hoping the wind will just come back on again. Go straight back to the cliff face and get ready for the landing. If it comes back on, I can always turn back out. This unpredictable wind is just making this that much harder. The wind's coming on, it's going off, the direction's changing a bit. It's just making this a real challenge. Not on the fucking fence. Right, let's go for it. Bit of strength in this wind, the tailwind's giving me a good glide ratio. I reckon I'll make it into that bowl just before I run out of height. Hit the lift. Up we go. Fill it with the wing. I need to gain some height here before I cross the next spur line as well. One right underneath me, I'll have exactly the same problem. Any kind of bowl shape in the cliff acts like a funnel. It catches the wind and then forces it up, just in an elevator. Look how much height I've gained. I'm just shooting up here. Plenty of height here to get over that spur and then get into that next bowl, which will also be an elevator. Getting into the main lift band here now. I don't even need to work that bowl. Made it. Freaking scary. Freaking scary. Where we going up? Alright. Managed to get off at Black Cliffs. Scary bloody spot. Oh, gets the heart going, that's for sure. Yeah, once you're in these bigger cliffs, they're very, very lifting. You just get loads of height really quickly. So apparently seagulls nest a bit further up the ridge, so certain times of year we can't fly over that way. And this is one of those times of year. So yeah, just have to hang around this side, unfortunately. Can't go too far. Oh, my heart's pounding. Fucking hell. Oh man, this is a really beautiful sight to fly, I must admit. Wow. Wind's sort of coming up and down, but you know, these big cliffs, they produce a huge amount of lift even in really light wind. If you look down there, there's nowhere to land, it's just rocks and surf. Dangerous bloody flying here. Woo! Get me! As I come around, he'll probably pop into the video. Formation! This is my second flight here. My first flight was really scratchy, a bit dodgy. Yeah, a bit more comfortable this time, but yeah, still not comfortable with this sight. There's little sea thermals popping off here. I'm trying to catch them, but they're a bit small. Kim's a bit better at it than I am. Yeah, I can feel them though, sort of coming up, and there's one right there, and up we go. But yeah, they're small, and I'm finding them real hard to stay in. I don't really want to do full 360s this close to the cliff. Like, I don't know how far back that rotor goes. So, yeah, I'm sort of trying to figure eight inside them. But figure eighting's not as efficient as actually circling, like Kim's doing at the moment. Yeah, I don't know how far back behind the cliff I can go safely, so, you know, the rotor, obviously, it comes up and then it drops again, but yeah, you can't see it, so I just don't know where it is, and to be honest, I don't want to find out by flying in it. Yeah, the landing here is, you can try and top land, or you can fly back and land in the paddocks behind the cliffs if you've got enough height. Yep. Alright, following Kibin to land. Because the wind is blowing more from the east, we need to fly back to the launch site before we can turn in. We need enough height to make sure we fly back, we don't get caught in rotor. And now we're turning in, heading back to the landing paddock. Strong here. Hey! Awesome day at Blackie.